Your choices led us here. We both have to live with that now.
The whiskey bottle clinks as Sheriff Calhoun sets it down on the cabin table. His hand trembles slightly, but the rest of him is steady, numbed by the alcohol and the weight of his choices. The silence in the room is heavy, pressing down on him. He stares at the half-filled glass in front of him, the amber liquid swirling, but it does nothing to dull the knot tightening in his stomach. The deal was done, and Sarah, his daughter, was gone. He leans back in his chair, his thoughts drifting to the day it all started. The outlaws had come to him in the dead of night, their guns drawn, their demands sharp and cruel. "You want to save your skin, Sheriff, you give us what we want." His throat tightens as he remembers the fear in his daughter's eyes when she realized what he was about to do. She begged him not to, but it didn't matter. What could he do? His hand shakes as he pours another drink. He hadn't been able to protect her. He'd chosen the easy way out. The cabin door creaks, and he freezes. Footsteps. They're slow, deliberate, like someone who knows exactly what they're walking into. He wipes his mouth with the back of his hand and sits up, tension snapping through his body. A figure steps into the doorway. Anna. Her silhouette is dark against the dim light outside, her presence filling the small space. "I thought I'd find you here," she says, her voice cool, calculated. Calhoun doesn't respond at first. He doesn't need to. She already knows everything, how the deal was made, how the outlaws took Sarah. He sees her eyes flicker to the whiskey bottle, but she doesn't comment. "You don't know what you've done, do you?" Anna's voice cuts through the air, low and venomous. "The past always catches up, Sheriff. And it's coming for you." His gaze flicks to the door, then back to her. "I didn't have a choice." She steps closer, her boots making soft sounds against the floor. "There's always a choice. You just picked the one that damn near cost you everything." He takes a long pull from his glass. His words come out slurred, but heavy with regret. "I thought I was protecting her." "You thought wrong," Anna replies, almost pitying. "And now you'll pay for it." The weight of her words hangs in the air. The cabin feels smaller, the walls closing in around him. This place, this cursed town, has always been a trap, one that he couldn't escape. Not then, not now. Anna watches him for a moment, a smirk playing at the corners of her lips. "The past doesn't stay buried, Calhoun. And you'll be right in the middle of it." He doesn't know what to say to that, so he doesn't say anything. He stares at the bottle, knowing the moment he's been dreading is coming. But that's for later. For now, the silence is thick enough to choke on. Chapter 2, The Return, word count, 1,100. Calhoun rides out the next morning, heading toward the hills. His thoughts are tangled, like the thick brambles growing wild along the roads. He hasn't slept, hasn't eaten. The guilt gnaws at him, sharper than the cold wind that cuts through his coat. He knows what he's done, what he's lost. Anna's words echo in his head, the past doesn't stay buried. They're too true, and the weight of them presses him down further with each passing mile. His destination is clear: find Sarah. Bring her back. Fix this if it can be fixed at all. The sun is a dull light behind thick clouds, casting long, sharp shadows on the ground. He's been here before, walking these roads with a sense of purpose. But now it feels like a death march. He doesn't realize he's been thinking too much until he hears the sound of horses behind him. He turns, hand instinctively going for the gun at his side. But it's just Anna again, her horse steady under her. She's too close for comfort, and he knows that nothing good ever comes when Anna is involved. "You didn't think you'd get far, did you?" she calls to him, her voice biting the air. "Why the hell are you following me?" Calhoun snaps, his voice sharper than he intended. "You think I'm just gonna let you wander off, fix everything like some damn hero?" Anna slows her horse, stopping just a few feet from him. "You're not fixing anything, Calhoun. You're running from it." He doesn't answer right away. Instead, he looks at her, eyes narrowed. He's tired of this, tired of her, tired of the past. But mostly, he's tired of himself. "I'm looking for her," he mutters, more to himself than to Anna. "Good luck with that," Anna says, a faint smirk curling her lips. "You think she's gonna forgive you? After what you did?" Calhoun's jaw clenches. The question hits too close to home. "I don't expect forgiveness." "Then why bother?" she asks, voice softening just a little. "Why put yourself through this?" The words cut through him, deeper than anything he's felt in years. He looks at her, eyes hollow. "Because it's all I have left." Anna studies him for a long moment, her expression unreadable. Then she leans forward, as if sharing some secret between them. "It's too late for that, Sheriff. What's lost is gone. You're not gonna find her." "Then why are you here?" Calhoun's voice cracks before he can stop it. "I came to make sure you face what's coming," Anna says. "Whether you want to or not." The wind picks up, whipping past them both. Calhoun doesn't say anything else. He just spurs his horse forward, his heart pounding in his chest, knowing that what's waiting for him at the end of this road is more than he can handle. Calhoun's horse struggles up the narrow, rocky path, its hooves slipping on the jagged ground. He barely notices the rough terrain anymore, his mind consumed by the thought of his daughter. It's been days since he saw her last, and the thought of her in the hands of the outlaws tears at him. His daughter. Gone. Taken. He passes an old well on the side of the path. It's covered in weeds now, the rope long rotted away. The well had once been a place for gathering, for life. But now, it feels like a symbol of death, a death he's caused, a death he can't escape. The path winds on, the land stretching out in front of him like a sprawling graveyard. He's been here before. He knows every inch of this land, and yet it all feels foreign now. As though nothing is the same anymore. He stops at an old barn, its doors hanging crooked on their hinges. He dismounts, walking up to the door with slow, deliberate steps. The barn is empty. But as he moves to leave, something catches his eye, a small piece of cloth, torn at the edge of the doorframe. His heart skips a beat. It's hers. It has to be. He tucks the cloth into his pocket, then mounts his horse again, moving faster now, as if the very fabric of time is running out on him. Calhoun's heart pounds as he pushes his horse through the thick morning fog, the cold air biting at his skin. The trail to Sarah's whereabouts is as unclear as his own mind. He's been riding for hours, but every bend in the path only leads him deeper into a place he doesn't recognize anymore. He's not sure what he's chasing, his daughter, his redemption, or something worse. He passes the same landmarks again and again, as if the land itself is playing tricks on him, or maybe it's his mind unraveling. The silence is broken only by the sound of hooves crunching over the dirt road. He stops at a creek to drink, his reflection barely visible in the murky water. He looks older than he remembers. His face, once sharp, now bears the weight of years of regret. The sound of hooves behind him makes him freeze, his hand instinctively reaching for his gun. But it's Anna, appearing out of the mist like a shadow, her dark figure cutting through the fog. She rides up next to him, her eyes unreadable, the horse steady beneath her. "What are you doing here?" Calhoun spits the question out, his voice rough, as if the words are jagged rocks scraping against his throat. "I should be asking you the same thing," Anna responds, her voice cool, yet laced with an edge. "You think you can fix this, huh? Make things right with a ride out into the wilderness?" Calhoun looks away, his eyes narrowing. "I'm looking for her. I'm bringing her home." "Home?" Anna repeats, a hollow laugh escaping her lips. "You think she'll come back with you? After what you did?" He doesn't answer right away. He's not sure he knows what to say. I had no choice, he mutters, more to himself than to Anna. Everyone has a choice, Calhoun. You chose them over her, she says, her words like ice. He looks at her then, meeting her eyes for the first time, and for the briefest moment, there's something familiar in her gaze, a shared pain, a shared understanding. But it's gone just as quickly as it came, replaced by the bitterness that's clouded everything between them. I didn't know what they'd do to her, he says quietly, but the doubt lingers in his voice. Anna's gaze softens, just a little, before she speaks again. They're never gonna forget the deal you made, Sheriff. The outlaws don't let go that easy. She pauses, almost like she's weighing something heavy in her mind. And neither will she. I have to try, Calhoun says, his voice firm despite the doubt gnawing at his insides. I have to bring her back. She watches him for a moment, her lips pressed tightly together. You think she's gonna just forgive you? After you sold her? He looks away, his eyes drawn to the empty horizon. The wind picks up, carrying with it the scent of earth and dust, the smell of the place that's always been home, but doesn't feel like it anymore. He takes a long breath, trying to find the words that might explain why he did it. But there are no words. Just regret. Just the hollow ache of losing something, someone he didn't know he could lose. I didn't mean for it to go that way, he says, more to himself than to Anna. His voice cracks a little. Anna doesn't respond. She just watches him, as if waiting for him to say something more. But the truth is, he doesn't have anything left to say. Nothing that will make it right. After a moment, Anna shifts in her saddle, her gaze turning distant. You're not gonna find her this way. Not by running after ghosts. Calhoun doesn't know how to respond to that, so he stays quiet. He knows she's right, but it doesn't stop him from trying. It doesn't stop him from hoping. There's a cabin up ahead, she says after a long pause, snapping him out of his thoughts. Could be she's there. Could be she's not. But you're running out of time. He nods without a word, kicking his horse into motion again, the rhythmic sound of hooves steady beneath him, but his mind is racing. The cabin, could it be the one? Anna, he says, his voice low, almost pleading. She interrupts him before he can finish. You don't have to explain yourself, Calhoun. You've already done enough damage. He wants to argue, to say something, but the words are gone. They both know what he's done. They both know what's been lost. The cabin comes into view after a while, its outline barely visible against the fog. The wood is old, worn, as if it's been standing long before either of them arrived. Calhoun stops his horse just outside, his eyes scanning the area, searching for any sign of Sarah. He dismounts, his boots crunching on the gravel beneath him, and takes a step toward the door. But Anna stops him, her hand on his arm. Don't think you're gonna get any easy answers here, she says quietly, her voice firm but not unkind. Not from her. Not from yourself. He doesn't look at her. Instead, he reaches for the door and pushes it open. The cabin is empty, save for dust and old furniture. But there's a feeling here, something heavy in the air. The same feeling he had when he first walked into this place so many years ago, before everything fell apart. He steps inside, his boots dragging against the floor. He can feel the ghosts of the past in the air, in the walls, in the silence that presses down on him. Then, a rustling from the back of the cabin. Calhoun freezes, his hand going to his gun. Slowly, he walks toward the sound, his breath shallow. The back door creaks open, and he steps inside, his eyes scanning the room. And there she is. Sarah. She's sitting by the window, her back to him, her hair tangled, her clothes torn. She doesn't move when he enters, doesn't even turn around. But he knows it's her. The girl he sold, the girl he lost. The girl who is still, somehow, alive. Sarah, he says, his voice cracking. She doesn't answer. She doesn't need to. The pain in her silence speaks louder than any words he could say. Calhoun doesn't move at first. His heart beats heavy in his chest, like a drum that won't stop pounding. He's standing there, staring at his daughter. She doesn't acknowledge him, doesn't even turn her head. Her back is to him, her posture stiff and broken. The silence between them stretches. He takes a step closer, his boots heavy on the wooden floor, each step an attempt to bridge the distance, though he knows he's a lifetime away. "Sarah," he says again, his voice barely above a whisper. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean for any of this to happen." She doesn't respond, and he can't tell if she's even heard him. Her hands are resting on her knees, fingers twitching slightly, like she's holding back from something. Maybe from letting herself feel again. Maybe from acknowledging that he's there at all. His throat tightens as he watches her, his mind racing with memories of who she used to be, innocent, trusting, full of life. And now, she's a stranger. Cold. Distant. "I never should have," he stops himself, shaking his head. There's no use in saying what he can't change. The words feel too small, too weak to carry any weight. He steps closer, his feet dragging through the dust that covers the floor. The cabin smells old, like the forgotten corners of the world, the places where time just fades away. The sunlight filtering through the cracked window casts long shadows across the room, highlighting the broken edges of everything. Finally, Sarah moves, but not to face him. She shifts, her shoulders slumping even lower, as though trying to disappear into herself. "Sarah, please," Calhoun presses, stepping even closer, his voice desperate. "I need to know you're all right. That you're—" "I'm not all right, Sheriff," she says, her voice flat, empty. She still hasn't looked at him. "And you sure as hell aren't here to make things right." The words hit him like a slap, and for a moment, he feels the full weight of what he's done. The sting of her anger is sharp, painful. It cuts through him in a way he never expected. It's a reminder that this broken man he's become was always going to catch up with him. He tried to run from it. He tried to drown it in whiskey, in lies, in silence. But now, here it is. He can't escape it. "I didn't want them to take you," he says, his voice breaking for the first time. He's never been this raw with her, not like this. Not like she's already gone. I thought I was saving you, Sarah." She finally turns, just a little, but her eyes don't meet his. She keeps her head lowered, her gaze fixed on the dirt floor. "Save me," she mutters, her lips curling in a bitter smile. "You sold me. For gold. For your damn life." The words hit him again, sharp and hard. He can feel them like a cold blade slicing through his chest. He opens his mouth to explain, but nothing comes out. What's the point? What could he possibly say that would make any of this right? She's right. He sold her. He traded her for his own safety, and he'll carry that for the rest of his life. "Where were you when they," she falters, her voice shaking. "Where were you when they took me? Where were you when I needed you?" The accusation in her voice cuts through him like a knife. It's a question he's asked himself 1,000 times over, one he can never answer. He looks at her, and for the first time in years, he sees the girl he failed. The girl he promised to protect. She's not the same, but neither is he. They're both broken. They've both been shattered by the same town, by the same mistakes. "I didn't know what they'd do," he whispers, but even he doesn't believe it anymore. "I didn't know, Sarah." She stands abruptly, pushing herself to her feet. The motion is sharp, sudden, as if she's done with the conversation, done with him. "Don't tell me what you didn't know," she snaps, her voice cutting through the thick air. "You made your choice. You chose them. You chose yourself." She turns toward the corner of the room, where a small, cracked mirror hangs on the wall. For a moment, she stares into it, and Calhoun wonders if she's seeing herself or seeing him. Does she see the girl she used to be? The one he failed? Or does she only see the woman she's become, the one who survived, who had to survive? "I'm sorry," he says again, though it feels hollow now. His voice is rough, worn out, just like him. "It doesn't mean anything anymore. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you." Sarah doesn't respond. She only glances at the door, her eyes cold. Her silence is louder than anything he could say. "I'm not asking for your forgiveness," he says, his voice quieter now. I know I don't deserve it. No, you don't, she replies, her voice flat, the words cutting with a finality that shatters the air around them. But I don't need it, either. I don't need you. Her words land like a slap. Calhoun's chest tightens, and for a moment, he's lost. His daughter is standing before him, but the space between them feels like a chasm, deep, wide, and insurmountable. Sarah walks toward the window, looking out, her back still turned to him. He watches her, helpless, knowing that whatever path she chooses now, he won't be part of it. She's already gone, and he's just the ghost of the father he used to be. The silence stretches again, thick and suffocating. The weight of everything they've lost hangs between them, but it's too late to fix. Too late to turn back. Finally, after what feels like forever, Sarah speaks again, her voice barely a whisper. You should leave. Calhoun stands there, motionless. He wants to say something, anything, but there's nothing left to say. I'm sorry, he mutters one last time, and then, without another word, he turns and walks out of the cabin. The door creaks closed behind him, the sound echoing through the quiet landscape. Calhoun stumbles out into the cold air, his breath hanging in the chill like smoke from a dying fire. His legs feel heavy, like the weight of the world is pulling him down with each step. He stands for a moment, just outside the cabin, staring at the ground. The dirt, the rocks, everything feels suffocating, like the land is closing in on him, reminding him of the things he can never escape. He looks back at the cabin. He should leave. He should ride away and never look back. But something inside him, some stubborn, broken part of him, won't let him. He has to fix this. He has to make it right. He doesn't know how, but he has to try. The wind bites at his face as he walks toward his horse, but before he can mount, he hears it, a sound from inside the cabin. A floorboard creaks. A whisper of movement. For a moment, his heart stops. It's her. He spins around, his hand on the gun at his side. His breath comes in short bursts. But he doesn't draw the weapon. Not yet. He takes a step toward the door. Sarah? His voice is strained, tight. It doesn't sound like his own. No answer. He takes another step forward, his boots dragging through the dirt, the weight of what he's done still pressing down on him. He reaches the door and stops. He doesn't know what he expects, her to be standing there, waiting for him, maybe, or for her to be gone again, like she was before. But when he pushes the door open, she's still there. She's sitting on the floor by the window, her knees pulled up to her chest, her eyes staring out at nothing. Sarah, he says again, more to himself this time, the word hanging in the air like a prayer he doesn't believe in. She doesn't move. Doesn't look at him. Just sits there in the darkened room, the shadows wrapping around her like a second skin. Calhoun's heart clenches. He steps inside, slowly, cautiously. He doesn't know what to say, doesn't know how to break the silence that has become so thick between them. I didn't come here to hurt you, he says, his voice rough. I didn't come to make you suffer. I came to bring you home. Her lips curl into something like a bitter smile, but she still doesn't look at him. Home, she repeats, the word tasting sour on her tongue. You mean back to that hellhole? The place where you sold me? He flinches at the words. The words he's been running from, the ones he knew she would say. He tries to speak, but the words feel trapped in his throat. He looks down at his hands, hands that used to protect her, but now, they're just the hands of a man who can't even protect himself. I thought you'd be safe with them, he finally says, his voice shaking. I thought they'd keep you safe. Safe, she laughs, but it's not a laugh at all, it's a sound like a knife scraping against stone. You sold me to the wolves, Sheriff. And you think they'd keep me safe? Her words cut deeper than any bullet ever could. They land with the force of everything he's done, everything he's lost. He wants to say something, anything, to make it right. But what's the point? There's nothing left to fix. I didn't know what they'd do to you, he whispers. I thought I was doing the right thing. I was desperate. She finally looks at him then, her eyes cold, empty. Desperate? You sold your daughter, Sheriff. There's no excuse for that. I didn't know what else to do, he says, his voice breaking. I thought they'd take me instead. Not you. Her gaze softens, but just for a second. Then, she stands up, her movements slow, deliberate, like she's trying to hold herself together. Her eyes never leave him, but there's something different in them now. Something that wasn't there before. You think it matters what you thought? She asks, her voice low, almost a whisper. You thought you could just make it go away. But you can't. Not this. Not what you did to me. I never meant for any of this to happen, he says, but it sounds hollow now. There's no weight to his words anymore. They're just words. Empty. I know, she says, her voice hard now, like a shield she's put up between them. I know you didn't mean it. But that doesn't change anything. The silence between them grows thicker again, heavy with things unsaid. Calhoun watches her, this woman who used to be his little girl, who used to look at him with trust, with love. And now, she looks at him like he's a stranger. Maybe worse than that. Like he's a ghost. You should have come back for me, she says suddenly, her voice breaking through the silence like a thunderclap. When I was with them. You should have come. You should have saved me. I couldn't, he says, his voice barely a whisper. I didn't know how. Her eyes flash, anger boiling up like fire. You didn't want to, she spits. You were too busy saving yourself. He feels the sting of her words, but he doesn't fight them. She's right. He was selfish. He always has been. He thought he could save himself and somehow that would make it better, that it would all just go away. She takes a step back, pulling herself away from him, the distance between them growing. You should leave, she says, her voice steady now, like she's made up her mind. You've done enough damage. Sarah, please, he takes a step toward her, his hand reaching out, but she pulls away again. No, she says, the word firm and final. You need to go. He stands there for a moment, feeling the weight of her words settle into him. His heart aches, a raw, empty ache that he knows will never go away. I'm sorry, he whispers again, but it's not enough. It never will be. Sarah turns away from him then, her back to him once more. She doesn't say another word, doesn't look back. Calhoun stands there, feeling the last of his hope slip away like sand through his fingers. Finally, he turns and walks out of the cabin. The door creaks as it closes behind him, and the sound is like the final nail in the coffin. Calhoun's feet drag as he walks back to his horse. Each step feels like an eternity. The ground beneath him is hard, unforgiving, and the weight of everything he's lost presses down on his shoulders. He wants to turn around, to go back into the cabin, but he knows it's too late. Sarah made her choice. And now, so has he. He reaches his horse, his hand trembling as he grips the reins. The horse shifts, sensing his tension, but Calhoun barely registers it. His mind is lost in a fog of guilt, regret, and shame. He's failed her. He's failed himself. He can feel the sting of her words, the words that cut deeper than any wound. You sold me. For gold. For your damn life. The breeze picks up, swirling the dust around him. His throat tightens. He wants to scream, to shout at the sky, to beg for a way to fix this. But he knows it's impossible. There's no going back. Damn it, he mutters to himself, kicking his horse into motion. He doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know what he's trying to find anymore. But the road is long, and the night is cold. He rides for hours, the rhythmic clop of the horse's hooves the only sound in the vast emptiness around him. The land feels endless, desolate, like a vast ocean stretching out before him. He doesn't know if it's the whiskey or the weight of his actions, but he can't shake the feeling that the earth itself is closing in on him, suffocating him with its silence. By the time he reaches the old farmhouse, the sun has set. The sky is a bruised purple, the stars scattered across it like forgotten memories. The farmhouse is quiet, abandoned. But as Calhoun approaches, he can feel the pull of something, like a thread drawing him in. He dismounts, tying his horse to the post outside. His boots crunch on the gravel as he walks toward the door. He doesn't know why he's here, but the feeling that led him here is stronger than any reason he can grasp. The door creaks open with a slow, eerie sound, and Calhoun steps inside. The air is thick with dust, the kind that clings to your skin and fills your lungs. He can almost hear the echoes of the past in the silence, memories of a time when things weren't so broken, so lost. There's a photograph on the wall, the edges yellowed with age. It's of a woman. A woman who looks so much like Sarah it makes his chest tighten. He takes a step closer, squinting at the faded image. It's his mother. For a moment, he just stands there, staring at the photograph, the weight of everything crashing down on him. The house feels like a tomb, like it's holding on to something long buried. His hand trembles as he reaches up to touch the frame. But before he can, a voice calls out from behind him. "You're not going to find what you're looking for, Calhoun." He spins around, his hand going to his gun instinctively, but it's only Anna. She stands in the doorway, her face unreadable, her eyes cold. "Anna," Calhoun says, his voice strained. "What the hell are you doing here?" "I could ask you the same thing," she replies, stepping into the room. "You really think a place like this is going to bring you any peace?" "I'm not looking for peace," he mutters, his voice low, raw. "I'm just trying to figure out where I went wrong." Anna watches him for a moment, then steps closer. "You don't need to look too far, Sheriff. It's all in your head. All of it. The guilt. The regret. The shame. It's been with you all along, hasn't it?" He doesn't answer. The words feel too heavy to say. "You're not the first man to make a deal with the devil, Calhoun," Anna continues, her voice soft but biting. "And you won't be the last." His gaze flicks to the photograph of his mother, then back to Anna. "This was where I grew up," he says quietly. "This place. My mother, she's buried out back. I thought if I came here, maybe I'd find something that made sense of all this. But it's just empty." Anna steps forward, her eyes softening slightly. "You can't undo what you've done, Calhoun. You can't fix it. You can't fix her." "I never wanted this," he says, his voice barely above a whisper. "I never wanted any of it." Anna's eyes narrow, and she crosses her arms over her chest. "You think I care about your regrets? You think that's going to make a difference?" "I didn't know what else to do," he says, the words tumbling out. "I was trapped. I didn't have any other choice." "Everyone has a choice," she retorts. "You chose the Outlaws. You chose your own life over hers." "I thought I was saving her," Calhoun says, his voice cracking. I thought they'd take me instead." Anna's gaze softens for a moment, but she doesn't let him off the hook. "You're weak, Calhoun. You always have been. And that's why you're here now. Lost. Looking for something you can never find." Calhoun doesn't respond. He doesn't know how. The weight of her words is too much to bear, and he's too tired to keep fighting them. The silence hangs between them for a long moment, thick and suffocating. Finally, Anna speaks again, her voice softer now. "It's not just your past, Sheriff. It's your future too. You've got nothing left. No family. No town. No purpose." "I have to find her," Calhoun says, his voice desperate. "I have to bring her back." Anna shakes her head, her eyes filled with something like pity. "You can't bring her back. She's gone. You're the one who's still stuck in the past." He doesn't know what to say to that. All he feels is the weight of his own failure. The weight of everything he's lost. Anna steps back, her gaze lingering on him for a moment. Then, without another word, she turns and walks out of the farmhouse, leaving him standing alone in the silence. He stares at the photograph again, his mind swirling with the weight of everything he's done. The room feels colder now, emptier. He's trapped in his own mistakes, and there's no way out. And as he stands there, staring at the photograph of his mother, the weight of betrayal sinks deeper into his bones. He thought he could fix it. He thought he could make it right. But now, he knows it's too late. The night feels colder than it should, even for this time of year. Calhoun stands outside the farmhouse, his hands shoved deep into his coat pockets, staring at the dark horizon. The land stretches before him, endless and unforgiving. It feels like everything in this town, this place, is just waiting to swallow him whole. But there's no escape. Not anymore. The wind picks up, rustling the dry leaves scattered across the ground. His mind drifts back to when he was a boy, the way this place used to feel alive. His father had been a cruel man, but his mother, she had always been the one who kept the world from falling apart. She had died when Calhoun was still too young to understand what it meant to lose someone, but the echoes of her absence had shaped him, and now it's too late to make up for any of it. He turns, his boots crunching in the gravel as he heads back into the farmhouse. The door creaks on its hinges as he steps inside, but there's no comfort here, no warmth. The shadows loom like ghosts, heavy and oppressive, and Calhoun feels them all around him. He can't outrun the past. He never could. There's a smell of stale air and dust in the house. The same smell as when he was a child. He walks through the rooms, his steps slow and deliberate. His fingers brush against the wooden beams, the same beams his father had carved his name into all those years ago. He remembers the night his father's anger had burned through everything, how Calhoun had been forced to grow up too quickly, the weight of the world pushing him down before he even had a chance to stand. Going. He doesn't know what he's trying to find anymore. But the road is long, and the night is cold. He rides for hours, the rhythmic clop of the horses' hooves the only sound in the vast emptiness around him. The land feels endless, desolate, like a vast ocean stretching out before him. He doesn't know if it's the whiskey or the weight of his actions, but he can't shake the feeling that the earth itself is closing in on him, suffocating him with its silence. By the time he reaches the old farmhouse, the sun has set. The sky is a bruised purple, the stars scattered across it like forgotten memories. The farmhouse is quiet, abandoned. But as Calhoun approaches, he can feel the pull of something, like a thread drawing him in. He dismounts, tying his horse to the post outside. His boots crunch on the gravel as he walks toward the door. He doesn't know why he's here, but the feeling that led him here is stronger than any reason he can grasp. The door creaks open with a slow, eerie sound, and Calhoun steps inside. The air is thick with dust, the kind that clings to your skin and fills your lungs. He can almost hear the echoes of the past in the silence, memories of a time when things weren't so broken, so lost. There's a photograph on the wall, the edges yellowed with age. It's of a woman. A woman who looks so much like Sarah it makes his chest tighten. He takes a step closer, squinting at the faded image. It's his mother. For a moment, he just stands there, staring at the photograph, the weight of everything crashing down on him. The house feels like a tomb, like it's holding on to something long buried. His hand trembles as he reaches up to touch the frame. But before he can, a voice calls out from behind him. You're not going to find what you're looking for, Calhoun. He spins around, his hand going to his gun instinctively, but it's only Anna. She stands in the doorway, her face unreadable, her eyes cold. Anna, Calhoun says, his voice strained. What the hell are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing, she replies, stepping into the room. You really think a place like this is going to bring you any peace? I'm not looking for peace, he mutters, his voice low, raw. I'm just trying to figure out where I went wrong. Anna watches him for a moment, then steps closer. You don't need to look too far, Sheriff. It's all in your head. All of it. The guilt. The regret. The shame. It's been with you all along, hasn't it? He doesn't answer. The words feel too heavy to say. You're not the first man to make a deal with the devil, Calhoun, Anna continues, her voice soft but biting. And you won't be the last. His gaze flicks to the photograph of his mother, then back to Anna. This was where I grew up, he says quietly. This place. My mother, she's buried out back. I thought if I came here, maybe I'd find something that made sense of all this. But it's just empty. Anna steps forward, her eyes softening slightly. You can't undo what you've done, Calhoun. You can't fix it. You can't fix her. I never wanted this, he says, his voice barely above a whisper. I never wanted any of it. Anna's eyes narrow, and she crosses her arms over her chest. You think I care about your regrets? You think that's going to make a difference? I didn't know what else to do, he says, the words tumbling out. I was trapped. I didn't have any other choice. Everyone has a choice, she retorts. You chose the Outlaws. You chose your own life over hers. I thought I was saving her, Calhoun says, his voice cracking. I thought they'd take me instead. Anna's gaze softens for a moment, but she doesn't let him off the hook. You're weak, Calhoun. You always have been. And that's why you're here now. Lost. Looking for something you can never find. Calhoun doesn't respond. He doesn't know how. The weight of her words is too much to bear, and he's too tired to keep fighting them. The silence hangs between them for a long moment, thick and suffocating. Finally, Anna speaks again, her voice softer now. It's not just your past, Sheriff. It's your future too. You've got nothing left. No family. No town. No purpose. I have to find her, Calhoun says, his voice desperate. I have to bring her back. Anna shakes her head, her eyes filled with something like pity. You can't bring her back. She's gone. You're the one who's still stuck in the past. He doesn't know what to say to that. All he feels is the weight of his own failure. The weight of everything he's lost. Anna steps back, her gaze lingering on him for a moment. Then, without another word, she turns and walks out of the farmhouse, leaving him standing alone in the silence. He stares at the photograph again, his mind swirling with the weight of everything he's done. The room feels colder now, emptier. He's trapped in his own mistakes, and there's no way out. And as he stands there, staring at the photograph of his mother, the weight of betrayal sinks deeper into his bones. He thought he could fix it. He thought he could make it right. But now, he knows it's too late. The night feels colder than it should, even for this time of year. Calhoun stands outside the farmhouse, his hands shoved deep into his coat pockets, staring at the dark horizon. The land stretches before him, endless and unforgiving. It feels like everything in this town, this place, is just waiting to swallow him whole. But there's no escape. Not anymore. The wind picks up, rustling the dry leaves scattered across the ground. His mind drifts back to when he was a boy, the way this place used to feel alive. His father had been a cruel man, but his mother, she had always been the one who kept the world from falling apart. She had died when Calhoun was still too young to understand what it meant to lose someone, but the echoes of her absence had shaped him, and now it's too late to make up for any of it. He turns, his boots crunching in the gravel as he heads back into the farmhouse. The door creaks on its hinges as he steps inside, but there's no comfort here, no warmth. The shadows loom like ghosts, heavy and oppressive, and Calhoun feels them all around him. He can't outrun the past. He never could. There's a smell of stale air and dust in the house. The same smell as when he was a child. He walks through the rooms, his steps slow and deliberate. His fingers brush against the wooden beams, the same beams his father had carved his name into all those years ago. He remembers the night his father's anger had burned through everything, how Calhoun had been forced to grow up too quickly, the weight of the world pushing him down before he even had a chance to stand. He passes the fireplace, where the ashes are long cold, and his gaze lands on the old rocking chair in the corner of the room. His mother used to sit there, knitting or reading, humming softly under her breath as she worked. He can almost hear her now, almost smell her perfume, faintly in the air. It's not real, he tells himself. It's just a memory. But the ache is sharp, the kind that never truly heals. Calhoun. The voice cuts through the silence like a knife. He freezes. Anna's standing in the doorway, her silhouette framed by the dim light from outside. Her face is shadowed, unreadable. What do you want? Calhoun asks, his voice low, rough. The words feel thick, like something stuck in his throat. He doesn't want to face her. Doesn't want to deal with the weight of the past, not again. You think you're the only one carrying a load of guilt? Anna's voice is sharp, cutting through the air between them. You think you're the only one who's been dealt a shitty hand? Calhoun turns to face her, his eyes narrowing. What are you trying to say? Anna steps into the room, her boots echoing on the floor. I'm saying you're not the only one with a broken past, Calhoun. I'm not the only one you've wronged. You didn't think this town was just your burden to carry, did you? You think it's all on you? He says nothing, just watches her. The tension between them is thick, suffocating. Your mother's not the only ghost in this house, she continues, her voice steady but filled with something bitter. This town is full of them, ghosts of the people you let down. Ghosts of the choices you made, the ones that never stop haunting you. Calhoun looks away, his throat tight. You think I don't know that? You didn't just sell your daughter, Sheriff, Anna says, her voice softer now, like she's letting the words sink in. You sold this town. You sold yourself. The words land hard, like punches he's not ready for. His mind flashes back to the deal he made with the Outlaws, how it had felt like the only way out. He had been desperate. But now? Now, he sees it all so clearly. The lies. The betrayals. The way the town had always been a trap, and how he'd kept running instead of facing it. You think I don't know that? He snaps, his voice sharp now. I've been living with it every damn day since. I didn't want this. I didn't want to lose my daughter. But I didn't know what else to do. Anna's eyes narrow, her face hard. You didn't know what else to do? You had a choice, Calhoun. You always had a choice. But you're too damn weak to see it. I tried to save her, he yells, the frustration boiling over. You think I wanted any of this? You think I didn't think about her every goddamn day since that night? I made a choice, and it was the wrong one. I know that. But it's done now. And I can't change it. I can't change what happened. You don't get it, do you? Anna steps closer, her voice now low, almost dangerous. You think it was just about Sarah? It wasn't, Sheriff. It's never just been about her. It's about this whole damn town. The people you sold out. The ones you left to rot while you kept your hands clean. His head swims with the weight of her words. He knows she's right, but it doesn't make it easier to hear. He's always known he was part of the problem, he's been part of the system that allowed all this to happen. But admitting it, facing it, that's a whole different kind of pain. Anna's gaze softens for just a moment, but then it hardens again, like she's trying to bury something deep. You want redemption? You're not gonna find it here, Sheriff. You won't find it by running from your past. You have to face it. You have to take responsibility for what you did. Calhoun's breath is shallow as he stares at her. His heart pounds in his chest, and for the first time in a long time, he doesn't know what to do. He's been running for so long, trying to outrun his mistakes, trying to outrun the ghosts. But there's no escape. You can't outrun this, Anna says, her voice softening as she takes a step back. You can't outrun your own guilt. It'll follow you, like it's following me. Like it follows everyone who's been complicit in this place. Her words settle into him like stones sinking to the bottom of a river. She's right. He's been complicit. He always has been. And no matter how far he runs, no matter how hard he tries to escape, he'll never outrun what he's done. Anna turns to leave, her steps light but final. Figure it out, Calhoun. Before it's too late. He watches her walk out of the farmhouse, her silhouette disappearing into the night. For a long moment, he stands in the silence, the weight of her words pressing down on him. The ghosts are still here, his mother, his daughter, the people he betrayed, and they're not going anywhere. He can feel them in the air, in the walls, in the dust that covers everything. And as he stands there, staring into the dark, he knows there's no way out. The past has him, and it's never letting go. Calhoun wakes to the sound of rain against the window. It's a steady drumbeat, relentless, like the ticking of a clock counting down to something he can't avoid. He sits up, his muscles sore, his body still heavy from exhaustion and regret. The room is dim, shadows pooling in the corners. The smell of wet earth seeps through the cracks in the walls. He rubs his eyes, trying to shake off the numbness, but it's no use. The fog in his head is thick, and it's been there for as long as he can remember. The door creaks open behind him, and he doesn't need to turn to know who it is. He can feel Anna's presence in the room, like a shadow he can't shake. She's been haunting him since that night, since he made the choice that damned them both. The weight of his actions presses harder now, the guilt pulling him down deeper into a place he's not sure he can crawl out of. "Didn't think you'd be here this long," Anna says, her voice cold, "but there's something else in it, something softer beneath the edge." "Thought you'd be left by now." Calhoun doesn't answer. He doesn't know how to. His mouth feels dry, and his throat is tight. He's afraid if he speaks, he might just break into pieces. He's already broken. The pieces are scattered, and there's no putting them back together. "I came here for her," he says finally, his voice hoarse. "I came here to fix this." "And you think you can?" Anna asks, her voice flat, like she's already heard this song too many times. She steps closer, the sound of her boots echoing in the room. "You think you can just show up, after everything, and make it right?" "I don't know," he replies. "But I have to try." "You've tried before, Sheriff," Anna says, her words cutting through the air. "And you failed. You failed her. You failed yourself. You failed this town. And now you're standing here, waiting for something to change. But it's not gonna change. It never does." The words hit him like a punch. He feels the sting, but he can't fight back. He's too tired, too worn down. All the mistakes, all the choices he made, they pile on top of him until he feels like he can't breathe. "Then what do you want me to do?" he asks, his voice shaky, desperate. "Tell me what I'm supposed to do." Anna stands there for a moment, looking at him. The silence stretches between them, thick and heavy. Then, she speaks, her tone softer than before. "I don't know what you're supposed to do, Calhoun," she says quietly. "But I do know this, you can't keep running. You can't keep hiding behind that badge, behind the lies. You have to face it. Face what you've done. And maybe, just maybe, you can find a way to live with it." Calhoun closes his eyes, the weight of her words sinking in. He's been running his whole life, running from the things he can't change, the things he's done. But there's no more running. There's no more escaping. The past has him, and it's not going to let go. The silence between them deepens, and for the first time in what feels like forever, Calhoun feels the weight of his own failure. He's been a coward, hiding behind the badge, hiding behind the lies he's told himself. But he can't hide anymore. He can't pretend it's all going to work out. "I'm not a hero," he mutters, the words slipping out before he can stop them. "I'm not even close." "You never were," Anna replies, her voice calm, matter of fact. "You're just a man who made a bad choice. A man who's trying to make up for it. And you're not going to fix it by hiding in this cabin, feeling sorry for yourself." He's silent for a long moment, letting the weight of her words settle in his chest. He wants to argue, wants to fight back, but he knows she's right. He's been hiding. Hiding from Sarah. Hiding from the town. Hiding from himself. "What am I supposed to do now?" he asks, his voice barely above a whisper. Anna's gaze softens for a brief moment, but she doesn't offer him comfort. "Face it. Own up to what you've done. And when you do that, maybe you'll find a way forward." Calhoun stands up abruptly, as if her words have knocked something loose inside of him. He doesn't look at her. He can't. His body feels like it's made of lead as he moves toward the door, every step heavier than the last. "I can't do this anymore," he says, his voice cracking as he reaches for the door. "I can't fix it. I can't make it right." "You don't have to fix it," Anna replies. "You just have to live with it." The words hang in the air between them, and for a moment, Calhoun doesn't move. He stands there, staring at the door like it might offer him an escape, but it doesn't. The door is just another barrier, just another reminder of the walls he's built around himself. Finally, he opens the door and steps out into the rain. The cold hits him like a shock to the system, but it doesn't numb the pain. Nothing will. He walks out into the night, his feet heavy in the mud, his thoughts a storm inside his head. The rain falls harder now, soaking through his clothes, drenching him to the bone. But he doesn't care. The cold feels like nothing compared to the ache in his chest. He doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know if he'll ever find a way to make things right. But he knows one thing for sure, he can't keep running. The road ahead is long, and it's unclear. But it's the only road left. And so, he keeps walking. The rain hasn't stopped. It's still pouring down in sheets, the world blurring in front of Calhoun's eyes, as if everything he once knew is dissolving. His boots sink into the mud with each step, but he keeps moving. There's nowhere else to go, no place that feels like home anymore. Not the cabin. Not the town. Not even the road he's walking. They're all ghosts, echoes of a life he once thought he could control. He doesn't know how long he's been walking. Time feels like it's slipping through his fingers. Every step drags him farther from the man he used to be, and yet, it doesn't feel like enough. He's still carrying all of it, the guilt, the regret, the unbearable weight of his choices. There's no getting rid of it, no matter how far he goes. The price he's paid for his actions is too high. The cost of what he did is more than he can bear. The town is just a silhouette ahead, the lights dim in the distance, but it doesn't feel like home. It feels like a place where everything went wrong. It's the last place he should be, but the pull is strong. He's running out of options, and there's nowhere else left to turn. As he reaches the edge of town, he sees her. Sarah. She's standing in the middle of the street, her silhouette barely visible through the rain. She doesn't move when she sees him, doesn't flinch. She just stands there, looking at him like she's been waiting for him. Waiting for him to finally face what he's done. Calhoun stops, his heart pounding in his chest. He wants to speak, to say something, anything, but the words won't come. Not now. Not after everything. She doesn't speak either. Just stands there, her eyes locked on his, her expression unreadable. It's like she's made up her mind about something that doesn't include him. I thought you'd be gone by now, she says, her voice cutting through the rain like a knife. He shakes his head, feeling the weight of the years, the mistakes, the broken promises, pressing down on him. I'm still here, he says, but it feels empty. I don't know what else to do. You still don't get it, do you? Her voice is harsh, but there's a tremor in it, just enough to make him take a step closer. She lifts her chin, looking at him with those same eyes full of anger and hurt. You can't fix this. You can't fix me. I know, Calhoun whispers, his throat tight. I don't deserve to fix anything. I don't deserve anything. The silence between them stretches, thick and suffocating. The rain keeps falling, each drop a reminder of the distance between them. Sarah's eyes narrow, and for a moment, it's like she's studying him, looking for something, or maybe just trying to make sense of the man standing in front of her. The father she once trusted, the man who betrayed her. Then what do you want? She asks, her voice softer now, but still laced with bitterness. What do you want from me? The question hangs in the air, and Calhoun doesn't have an answer. He doesn't know what he wants anymore. What could he possibly want after everything he's done? After everything he's lost? I don't want anything, he says, his voice hollow. I just wanted you to be safe. I wanted to protect you. Sarah looks at him for a long moment, her face unreadable. Then, slowly, she shakes her head. You can't protect me anymore, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. You lost that right a long time ago. The words hit him like a punch to the gut. He can feel them sinking into him, deep, like they're carving out a piece of him. She's right. She's always been right. He lost the right to protect her the moment he made the deal with the Outlaws, the moment he sold her to save himself. She turns away from him, her shoulders tense, her movements quick, like she's trying to get as far away from him as possible. But Calhoun doesn't move. He stands there, frozen, the rain soaking through him, the emptiness settling deeper into his bones. Sarah, he calls, his voice cracking. Please. She doesn't stop. Doesn't look back. And in that moment, Calhoun knows it's too late.